Hey, it's Tay here, and today I am going to be showing how I achieved my Knotless Goddess Box Braids. So, if you are interested in how I achieved this look, then stay tuned. So I'm beginning with the very last row or section that I have to complete, and that's just for the sake of time in the video. And once I get that unbraided, I'm going to take some gel and put it around the entire base of that section. And once I do that, I go ahead and part it off part it off directly with the section that's next to it. And I use some jam just to slick the hair down, keep it in place. And I also put some jam on the part. And then I go back in with my comb and I part again just to define the part even more and give it, some cleanness, crispiness, make it look real clean cut. Then I'm going to separate some hair. I use curly hair from a track that I cut off and some pre-stretched braiding hair. I'm going to separate that and put it on my threading rack. So you want to start with a simple 3-strand plait, and you're going to braid down to where you would like for the hair to begin getting added in, and you're going to braid down to that point until your dominant hand is free to pick up more hair. And then you pick up the hair in the middle and you loop it between your thumb and pointer finger and continue to braid until your dominant hand is free again. And then you loop in the second piece. Now, when I add the hair, I like to add one piece at a time. Some people prefer to add in the hair and begin braiding with both pieces at one time. And for me, that's a little bit confusing. So I prefer to add in the hair directly in the middle and then start braiding with one end of the hair. And once my dominant hand is free, I add in the other end of the hair. And so to keep the hair anchored and in place while I'm adding it in or braiding it in, I use my pinky and my ring finger to anchor the hair in place. And that just makes sure that the length is the same throughout your entire style, and it keeps the hair from slipping and sliding while you're trying to braid and add it in. So at this point, I'm going to add in some curly hair, and I'm just going to add in one end of it. I'm not going to braid both ends of the curly hair because I want it to hang freely from the braid. I want it to look as if it's just naturally flowing, falling out of the braid. So at this point, I'm adding in the third piece of hair, and that's going to be the last piece that I add in, and I'm going to braid all the way down, remembering to keep some product on my fingers. That's important for neatness of the style, and it helps prevent with flyaways, way less flyaways at the end of the style to worry about. And I braid down. I keep at the portion where my natural hair is still exposed, I keep jam on my fingers, and I also use a little bit of beeswax just to give it an extra hold. And once my hair is completely tucked into the braid and I get past my hair's length, I just use jam. I don't use both products. I just use jam and I braid all the way down. So once I get a little further ways down, I go ahead and add in another piece of curly hair to hang out because I want it to come from multiple points of the braid, and I want it to have a free, carefree look, and it's gonna be really cute. Now I braid all the way down, and I keep tucking in that little short end of the curly hair. You also want to be careful with adding the curly hair in if you're trying to make sure it's a particular length. You want to make sure that while you're braiding, it doesn't slip and slide and shorten the length of the curly hair, because it did happen to me a few times. And I know I keep sniffling and I keep taking breaths, y'all, but it has been a weird season. If you live in Chicago, you know what I'm talking about. It's supposed to be fall, but it's winter. It is what it is, y'all. So excuse my voice. So I'm going to braid to the very end and keep braiding all the way down. Once I am done with that braid, once it's completely braided, I go in and I check to make sure there are no flyaways, and I cut those away. I do this after every braid just so that I don't have to go back at the end and cut off flyaways. So once that braid is complete, we're gonna go ahead and get started on the next one. Again, I'm gonna part off the section so that the 2 rows in the middle are completely the same as far as parting. So there's no boxing. These are completely the same. So I part directly with the part next to it so that the 2 middle rows are the same and all the braids are in the same place. Then I add jam and I part again. Again, that's for the crispiness, that's for the cleanness, that's for the clean cut. That is to get that part looking right. And so, to begin the braid, I just start with a 3-strand plait again, and I braid down to where I desire to add in the hair. And once my dominant hand is free, I pick up more hair and I loop it between my thumb and my ring. My thumb and my pointer finger. And again, once my dominant hand is free, I pick up the hair, hold it between my pinky and my ring, and I loop it between my thumb and my pointer. And then once my dominant hand is free again, I add in the second piece. And I just keep going. I'm going to add in 3 pieces per braid just to make sure that all of the braids are equal. All of the pieces, by the way, that I'm adding in are the same length, same thickness. I'm not sure they're the same size. So every piece that I add in is the same size as the piece before. So all of the pieces are the same. That is how you make sure that your style stays uniform. Keep it uniform. And remember to keep product on your fingers so that your hair stays slicked down and into the braid. It helps a ton with tucking. Okay, so I'm just gonna get out your way and let you watch this video. I did want to point out that I do not add the curly hair to every braid. I did not add curly hair to every braid. So it was more like every other braid because I didn't want too much curl. I wanted it to be, box braids with curls, not curls with box braids. So every braid does not get curly hair added in. Okay, so one more time, let's explain how I add in this hair for my knotless braid. I start with a 3-strand plait and I braid down to my desired add in location or length. And then I pick up the hair, the braiding hair in the middle, and I put one end between my thumb and my pointer, and that's the end that's going to be braided in first. And then I hold the other end with my ring and my pinky so that it doesn't slip, it doesn't fall out of place. And then I just braid down. Once my dominant hand is free, I add that end as well. So again, just gonna braid all the way down, borrowing hair at the end if I need to. And then I'm gonna clip away those flyaways and move on to the next step. So the very last step would be adding mousse. Sorry, it's not the very last step, but it's the second to last step. So this is before you dip the hair. You add mousse completely over the hair, so everywhere. I add is no such thing as too much mousse with this style, I believe, especially with the curls. It helps to keep the curls in a very good condition, and then it also helps to keep the braids. Mousse just keeps everything in place. It creates a real strong mold once it's done drying. So that's why I feel like it's very important for maintaining the style. Once the style is complete and while it's still fresh, you add that mousse in and make sure that everything is covered. So we know that no style is complete without laying those edges. So that's what I'm going to do here. Going to put a little gel, swoop them over, and then lay them down to dry. I do want to mention that after moussing my hair, I went down and I dipped the ends in hot water. So this style is coming to an end. I will post pictures of the finished look. I want to thank you all so much for coming to my channel and watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.